Right, guys. So I'm really enjoying the winter. I see it really as a challenge. Probably difficult for some people, but the old folk here get a lot of help. You notice people just appear from nowhere and they're clearing the drives, and even the older people are also, you know, if they're able, they're out there. With the snow shovels and everything. Um, So what I'm thinking now, as a kind of a prepper, kind of outdoor kind of, I don't know what to describe it as, but like let's call it a prepper, and and you'd always ask yourself, what could you do better, and what could you do to improve or hone your skills. Now, and these times when you get power cuts and you get heavy snow and all the rest of it all at once, normally all at once. How have you coped? Were you ready? And all the rest of it. So what could I have done differently? What could I have had more of? On all the rest of it. And usually the power is not down for that long around here anyway. I think the most I've ever known, it was 3 days, and that was a challenge, and it was cold, and that was a challenge. And but like, if you've got the wood burn and you've got your wood, and I don't have to go outside for my wood into the snow anyway. It is outside, kind of on paper. Theoretically, it's a tunnel through the house, like a drive through, the ancient type of drive through where they bring in the sheep or the goats or anything, horse and cart. You can get through there into the back of the house, and it's like a drive-through garage, um, which you can. The way I've done it now, I've kind of semi blocked off one end, but it's still open to the elements. So what could I have done different, and what did I miss? What wasn't I ready for? And the answer is not much. The only thing I'm kicking myself about is I've got a garden rake, and it's ideal for like finishing off the snow when it's quite cumbersome with a snow shovel, which is all right for the big stuff, but like a garden rake, a good one. I've got like a good one, robust, and that's really good at finishing off your snow clearance, because you get chunks which are coming out of this ice wall, and it's quite tricky to like smooth level it off, if you like, the final trim with a snow shovel, because it's cumbersome and it's shaped, it's dished, so you're trying to do a level surface, and it keeps, by its nature, it's dished, and it's hard to do. So, and rake I thought the rake was right outside the back door here, but it wasn't, and I don't know where it is now. Obviously, because everything's buried, and I think it's behind the back wall. That's where the other place was. I can't really remember, and I'm usually good at remembering stuff like that, but I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in the back there. But like, I thought it was right outside the door, but I didn't check. And like, it'd be really handy now for what I need it for. And I may venture out tomorrow, see what I feel like, and make my way to the back. I'm sure it's leaning up against the back wall, behind the wall. at the back. And if it isn't, I'll be disappointed if I get there and it's not there. So what could I have done differently? Now, not much. I was pretty much, no problems. The wood burner is the big one. If you've got a wood burner, that's it. You've got everything. And lighting is not a problem. I've got tons and tons of candles, which don't give off much light. But like when you got a power cut, what do you need light for? Because you can't do much. The gas bottles, I've got gas, cooking, pretty much everything, all bases covered. The car, I've got a decent, able car for the snow, and any time of the year really. And I've got all the clothing, got all the bedding, everything really. So that was the only thing, was the rake, which didn't catch me out, but like it'd be really, really handy at the moment, what I want to do outside. And I'm going to have to do it with a snow shovel, I think. I might just venture out to the back. So what things did pay off, and I haven't got batteries, because I've stocked up on batteries in the past, and they lose the power, they corrode, they're no good. They're no good long-term batteries. If anything, you want rechargeable stuff, and that you can recharge from the vehicle. Because if you've got a power cut, you're not recharging anything, are you? And unless you've got a Jenny. And I don't need a Jenny. And the reason I don't need a Jenny is because of the wood burner. Having batteries in that is a luxury. When you're in this situation, I don't need it. I just need good bedding, good gear, like this coat. This is over 20 years old. And the wood burner and candles. That's the basics. And water, which I've got water. And the water's stored as well. I've got a store of water. Not much, because, at a push, you can always boil snow, can't you? As long as it's not yellow, you can, at a push, but like, you can see the temperatures, and when it's snow, it's kind of not really that cold, unless it snows and then the temperatures plummet. Then you make sure you've been prepped. So as a prepping person, I'm pretty happy. But you miss one thing, like the rake, which it's not the end of the world, is it? But it would be handy, because I like trimming the snow up outside. The final trim. And the other thing was, I dug myself out yesterday. It took about 4 hours digging. And the one thing I ran out of, which is, like I explained the other day, I can't stock up on, is wine, because I just drink it all. So I can't stock up on it. But I did buy a little bit extra over the festive period. And the snow, I knew the snow was coming. But I thought the shop's open 365 days a year. But I like to stay in over the, if it's snowing, you're best off staying put. Let's put it that way. Unless you're just having a mess about, which what I did the other day, just down, it's only 500 metres, 600 metres to the village square, if you want to mess about in the car. But go venturing out and, going a few miles in that. The only thing I worry about then is people oncoming traffic. That worries me. Always. Because you can be as prepared as you want, but other people may not be. and they may not be proficient at driving or like take as much caution as you do. If I see oncoming traffic, I slow down to snail's pace. Snails. So even if you're going 10 miles an hour and you hit something coming at you 10 miles an hour, that's still only. And other people do as well, which is great. That's fantastic. But some people don't. They're driving like maniacs, as they would normally drive, 30, 40 miles an hour in the snow. You want to be driving at like, 25 max, really, unless the roads are passable, But people don't. They just carry on driving. It's like, and then they might just like if they get near you, they might just put the brakes on. That could be game over for everyone. And like it happens, obviously. And people are going too fast around bends. I mentioned the other week about like there's a lot of twists and turns around it going into town, and they're mainly going onto bridges and off bridges. You go down across the river, back across the river, back across the river, and they're the slippy points. That's where ice is over on the bridge decks. So that's why, like yesterday, I went down to the shop and it was closed because the power was off, and it should have But sometimes we've got in between here and there, we've got a transformer, and sometimes the power's on in the shop, and it's not on up here, But it was off there as well. And I thought at the time, well, I could carry on and go to town because I knew it was like the power would probably be on there, but I don't know. But I thought, no, just to get some wine. I mean, I'll just turn around and come back. That's that's it. Till the shop's open, and so that's what I did. So that's not a fail yet. It's just like, and it's sensible, really. Not to like, if you hold up in a place, it's sensible not to be surrounded by alcohol or like food, yeah, but not alcohol. If you hold up. Not a good idea. So just turn around and come back, and like I went back down today, and the shop is packed because people haven't been able to get there. And I went down at 11 o'clock, and it was packed. And I went down for a rotisserie chicken, and he actually had some they were done yesterday, but like I went for it, because I can just crisp them up in the air fryer. And I've got loads and loads of food. I've got tons of food, and I've got like enough for probably a month at a push. And it would be at a push, but like you just don't need it. You could get to town now easily. The roads are clear. The snow ploughs here are everywhere. And there's a guy on the tractor. He's just been up here again. And, I think he's like the way he's driving it and putting it about this tractor. I don't think he's the brightest, because he's pushing it into the houses, into cars, and like he buried my car yesterday. I don't know whether it was him or someone else. But like he could have, and I noticed the blade on the tractor is hydraulic, so he can push it either way. And why he's pushing it into the houses, into this side of the road, when there's the other side opposite me is there's nothing there. It's just a hedge. Why you wouldn't put it there? Well, you can criticise, but he's keeping it clear at least. But I wasn't happy really yesterday because the snow bank on the other side of the road wasn't as big as this side against my car. The ice wall. I don't know why you would do that, but anyway. Maybe and a lot of the time they don't know what's behind the snow, So there could be a scooter in there, anything, And these guys don't know what's there, So and if there's fire hydrants or anything, they've got to be careful about what's at the side of the road, which they can't always. You can't always tell and the ditches and everything. So he's doing his best. Probably he's doing his best. Obviously, but I was a bit disappointed yesterday when I got this great big ice wall, and the other side of the road was only half as big. Anyway, he's just gone up now, up the valley, and I'm waiting for him to come back down. Because as soon as he does, I'm going to push the snow back into the road, at the moment he comes past, if he does. So I'll just wait for that. Anyway, so yeah, they're the only things. Well, what could it be? I'm actually pretty pleased with the prepping. The only thing I haven't got, which someone mentioned actually the other day, is a spare battery. Now, I do keep my battery charged up, and I can charge it up whenever on the car. But if I couldn't, and if it was minus 15, 20, it would just drop, and I'd have to bring that battery in actually, because I've only got one battery. If a spare battery's useful, car battery. And I used to have a couple at all times. I don't know what happened to them. But I kind of need a spare battery. And then I can even charge things off it as well. And keep the battery charged up. Just a normal car battery. And that would be handy. Because it is if that battery goes on the car, and there's no power, that's it. Which is unlikely, but it's possible. So that's just another thing I'm thinking about, getting another battery, and then I'll have it then anyway. So yeah, I could have carried on to town. I'm not going to go to town until I'm happy with the roads. Now, the road to the supermarket, the main road, just that, it's only 600, 700 metres away. It's gritted as well. And today it was passable. So at a push, I could have gone, maybe I should have gone into town, but the guy was open, the supermarket was open. And I could have gone into town and actually filled the vehicle up. I've got over half a tank, but well, really, I've no need to go to town at the moment. I've got plenty of food, plenty. So it's only the things that you think about as a prepping mentality, and a challenge. I like it. I love it. I love the snow and the challenge. So what would I want to go to town for at the moment? There was something that I've thought about, but I can't remember. And everything else, not a problem. Not a problem. If you've got a wood burner and wood, that's you. You're not going to die. And you get, not only are you not going to die, you're going to be comfortable. I haven't suffered one little iota. And it does you good now and again not to have internet. And it does you good not to have power. Believe it or not, if you're prepared, that's what you're prepared for. So, you know, you can test out your. It's a test case. You become your own test case, and with the gas bottles, number one backup. Number one is having a wood burner, and number one backup is having gas bottles. And I've got loads. I've got 4 gas bottles at any one time, and I don't even need them half the time. But like, it could come to that scenario once in a while. But we'd have to have like over a metre of snow, which is possible. We've just had half a metre. It's possible, and we've got 2 more days now. Forecast, it's snowing now. So, so I'm just thinking, like, you know, what could I have more? Probably, I don't know. I've got a rechargeable torch as well, which is like, it's in the car. Have things where are chargeable off mains and the car. Always get things which are chargeable off the car as well, because that's important. And you can, even if the battery did go, I've got mega jump leads, and I can just flag anyone down. If it came to it, I could just flag someone down and just jump the car, you know, if need be. And that's easy. Or the neighbour, or they can jump off me, or whatever. There's always going to be something something running, isn't there? You know, just flag them down. So, and we've actually got a garage next door but one, and they'll have a power pack. Not that I'll ever need it, but like, you could do, you know. So that's the 2 main things where I think are important, actually, is a good car, good winter tyres, and you know, I'm really considering getting another battery, even a second-hand one from a scrapyard, just to get you going, you know. Even that would be handy, and which I've always had. I don't know what happened to them. I'm still trying to think. When I moved out, they might have just, I don't know, stayed there. I know I had one on a buggy which is sold, and I put a car battery on it, and that was one of my spares on these off-road buggy things. Yeah, everything else, not a problem. So you got to be happy with that. Although we haven't been like without power for like 3 or 4 days, but I could easily do that. Easy. With the wood burner. I could go for weeks with just a wood burner for the cooking, everything. Even if it didn't have gas, which I have. And then I can always get out of here then, if you've got a good car, ready to roll. And if you know, it really hits the fan, you can get out of here. And I don't know where to go. Well, probably you just go until the lights are on, wouldn't you? Until you see lights on in houses, and then just stay somewhere, just to, you know, whatever. A good bet actually then would be somewhere who's got a Jenny. Actually, there's a place up here, a B&B, and they've got a big Jenny. And so I could just go there, just up the road, half a kilometre. They've got a huge Jenny there. I think it's diesel. Just go up there, just book in, say, well, I want to stay here. That's where the 3 cars were. There was some lads up there yesterday. Obviously, they were from out of town. They were city dwellers, I think. And they were in a right mess. They were in a right pickle. They were burying each other's cars as they were trying to clear them. Instead of clearing one, getting it out onto the road and get the snow off it the other way onto the other bank, they were just digging out the cars and burying each other. I don't know what they were doing, but they didn't look very organised anyway. But anyway, so I'm enjoying it, and just this is just to share, what it's like here, and it's no problem. In fact, it's a bit of a change. It's like going on like an expedition, but you're in your own house, something like it's interesting for people like me. Anyway, I like the challenges and all everything like that. This isn't a mega challenge, but it would be for some people if you weren't prepared. This is disaster, life and death. If you haven't got a wood burner or gas poles, you're in trouble. You really are. When the power goes out 24 hours, if you haven't got one of those 2 things, you're in trouble. Okay, cheers.